Hey everyone, welcome back and happy Thursday. Okay, guys, so we're back to talk about Vanderpump Rules again. George Floyd's family has responded to Tom Sandoval's utterly ridiculous, inappropriate, disgusting comparison that yes, he apologized for, but it just didn't make any sense. Like, bro, get your head out of your ASS. Like, stop feeling like you are just that it's just wild to me. We're going to break it all down, but also Rachel Leviss had a few things to say to Lisa Vanderpump. So we're going to break that down as well. Before we jump in, you guys know how this works. If you haven't already, go ahead, smash that like button. If you're not subscribed, get subscribed. Yeah, don't forget to hit that notification bell and let's jump right in.
Cause no one can do it like we do it, like we do it, like we do it. Cause no one can do it like we do it, like we do it, like we do it.
Okay, guys. So we're going to start here with Rachel Leviss. Now, Raquel made some bold claims against her former boss, Lisa Vanderpump, during the latest episode of her podcast. So, after Lisa was seen expressing concern for Tom Sandoval on the latest episode of the show, Raquel wondered why she didn't have the same worry for her while also reflecting on what she told Nima about Sandoval and Ariana's supposed open relationship and explaining why she ghosted Sandoval. I know that we kind of talked about this briefly, but she said, I feel like it's pretty typical for Lisa to really like take the men under her wing and make sure that the men are okay. But she doesn't really care about the women on the show as much. To me, my perception of it, it seems like the women are more disposable to her and she has invested in the Tom Tom name, with them and has business with Sandoval. So if you were really concerned about Tom having dark thoughts, you had to have had considered my mental state of mind as well, because we were both going through the same thing at the same time. But according to Raquel, Lisa did not reach out to her to see how she was doing as she underwent a months long treatment program post Sandoval. She didn't. And she didn't care what my mental state was when she pulled that whole Graham situation on me. Raquel was then at, okay, wait a minute, hold on. This is victim mentality like a motherfucker, because this is actually some bullshit. I'm going to tell you guys how I feel. I don't even care at this point. One, yes, she reached out to you and wanted to have a moment while talking with you. We're going to do it like this. One, yes, she reached out to you. She wanted to have a moment to talk to you, but yes, that was supposed to be on camera, but that was the same thing that she gave to Tom Sandoval. It was an on-camera moment. And then of course there are many conversations that happen off camera, but yeah, they wanted the real, the raw, the ugly, the bad, and the footage that you can't make up because you haven't had time to rehearse those initial reactions. They wanted that for the show. 100%. But to say that she wouldn't have had other conversations with you, I wasn't on the show and she had conversations with me. And yes, I'm a guy, but also I had many friends who worked at TomTom and Sir and Pump who were girls who also Lisa would have conversations with, and she would do wellness checks and see how everybody was doing. So I'm not buying that for a second. And then the second thing here is the whole Graham thing, and she knew that that was going to hurt you. They scanned his microchip. He ended up going back to Vanderpump Dogs, right? They called Vanderpump Dogs because he was biting people. And she thought, who better to take on Graham than his previous owner, James Kennedy? I mean, at this point, if you're saying I told her that James had certain negative, really awful behaviors towards the dog, but then you're also claiming other things against her and other people that she knows for a fact are not true, then why is she going to believe you? It's like one of those things, even though those things that she said about James could very much so be true, and I don't know. It's like you're the boy who cried wolf because you're claiming something, but you're also claiming a lot of things. And now we're just kind of getting lost in the mix of what is true, what is not, that's coming out of your mouth. That's how I feel. Back to it. Raquel was then asked about her past comments regarding her date with Nima and what he said about her claims of an open relationship between Sandoval and Ariana. I didn't think that I said anything bad, but Sandoval was like, I'm a business professional and people are looking at me. And when they hear things like this, it looks bad on me. So he was scolding me for opening up about the dating situation and how it went down. As for what the comment about an open relationship came from, Raquel said she spoke of the idea to Nima after spending a weekend at Coachella with Sandoval and Ariana prior to the split. I did not tell Nima that Tom told me that he was in an open relationship. What I told Nima was when I was explaining to him my experience at Coachella, staying with Tom and Ariana and a few of our friends in that Airbnb. Tom and I and Jesse were in the jacuzzi and our feet were in the jacuzzi and we were talking until 5 a.m. The sun was coming up and we were listening to Dua Lipa and talking about relationships and whatnot. And nothing happened that weekend. But also, like, Tom and Ariana were extra lovey towards me. So when I told Nima this experience, what I said was Tom and Ariana gave off an open relationship vibe. And he was like, "Oh, that's interesting. Do you think they're in an open relationship?" And I said, I was like, no, I don't think that they are, but it is a weird energy." And he said, "Do you think Tom is interested in you?" And that's when I was like, "Yeah," but it felt like he was. And then he said, "Would you act on that?" And I said, "No, I would be more likely to hook up with Ariana than I would Tom." He took it as I was saying that Tom told me that he and Ariana were in an open relationship, and that was not the case. Now, moving on to the end of the relationship, her relationship with Tom Sandoval, which happened amid her treatment, Raquel admitted to feeling a little bit like she abandoned him. I do, but I'd been advised that that would be the best way for me to end it because if I try to explain the reasons why I'm breaking up with him, he would figure out a way to get back into my good graces. Mm. Noting that she attempted to call it quits with Sandoval before he even joined Fox's special forces. I said, like, I don't want to do this anymore. This isn't healthy for me. And he was like, please do not do this to me. Please don't do this to me. And then he started talking about how Kyle Chan had to come over and remove the guns from his house. And I was like, oh my God, please don't choose a permanent solution to a temporary problem. And I'm talking him off the ledge. And so, like after he did that, it was like, well, I don't, he's going to pull something to keep me in his grasp. So I just had to ghost him. Yeah. Wow. I mean, to be fair, sometimes you do have to do what you have to do. Okay, so speaking of the George Floyd comparison, George Floyd's ex is calling Tom Sandoval's Scandoval comparison stupid. So everyone knew that Tom Sandoval was tone deaf before, but his George Floyd comments just sealed the deal with George's former partner, Roxy Washington, responding to a statement. So for those not in the loop, when the Vanderpump Rules star spoke to the New York Times about his reflections on Scandoval, he said, "I'm not a pop culture historian, really, but I witnessed the O.J. Simpson thing and George Floyd and all of these big things, which is really weird to compare this to that. But I do you think in a weird way it's a little bit the same?" Now, the comment sparked universal outrage for reasons that should be apparent. He soon apologized, writing, "My intentions behind the comments I made were to explain the level of national media attention that my affair received. The comparison was inappropriate and ignorant. I'm incredibly sorry and embarrassed, but few accepted the apology, least of all, Roxy." Now, in an interview with TMZ, Roxy broke down her opinion of the situation. TMZ reported the situation was pissing off the mother of Floyd's 10-year-old daughter, Gianna. And Roxy admitted that she knew nothing, next to nothing, about Vanderpump Rules and Tom, but acknowledged that Tom would have to be pretty dumb to compare his issues to George's passing. Roxy reportedly found Tom's New York Times statement flat out stupid, and she pointed out that Tom and Ariana are both still alive, and for that same reason, she also condemned Tom's reference to O.J. Simpson and his deceased ex-wife, Nicole Brown Simpson. She slammed Tom for not knowing better, with TMZ calling him a grown-ass man, unlike Roxy's daughter, who is a true victim. Roxy further suggested that Tom repeat his dumb shit in a mirror to gain some perspective. Sadly, the mother also reported that Tom's comment is not unlike what Gianna often hears from her classmates. As for Tom's apology, Roxy made it clear she would not accept it, and she simply cautioned that people watch what they say in the future. I mean, I agree. I want to hear what you guys think. Go ahead, pop off in the comments. Smash that like button if you have not. Let us know what you think, and we will see you next time. Love you guys.